Hello, welcome back to Mac Music Review. Before I hop into the actual review, I just want to say there's a lot of stuff down in the description for this video about the albums I'm reviewing, how I review the albums, just general information about the channel, how this is going to work. So, yeah, you want to check that out. If you want to do an album request, I tell you how in the description. Sorry about that. So yeah, just check down there. All right. Time to jump into the album review. Today, the very first album review, we're going to be talking about the album Sound of the Saints by Audio Adrenaline. Audio Adrenaline is a Christian alternative rock band that I've never actually been a big fan of. I mean, I really like one of their albums, but I'm not a big fan of their style. They were popular they were kind of popular in the 90s. They have like 2 greatest hits albums, so they have to have some popularity if they have hits albums. But I've never been a huge fan of theirs. The next review is going to be another one of their albums that I actually really like. And you can see that down in the description. But yeah, Audio Adrenaline. This album is not very well known. In fact, most people probably have never even heard of this thing. It has like a little under 40 reviews on Amazon, which means it's sort of well-known. That's kind of how I gauge how well-known an album is. How many reviews it has on Amazon. Is this thing any good? Well, most people would say no. I believe that most people would say no. This album is very safe. This album sounds like it was manufactured 100% for Christian contemporary music radio. And ironically, it actually didn't have any hits, and its predecessor, Kings and Queens, a much more creative, risky album, had a really big hit song called Kings and Queens, the title track. And so, for once in the industry, it happens sometimes, but this is a rare instance of creativity actually beating out the sellouts, beating out the people who just make it for the money. And so that gives, as a music critic, that kind of gives me hope in the industry, especially in Christian contemporary music radio, where most of it is very generic, most of it does not take risks. It's very safe music. I would even go so far as to say this album is like a small picture of the entire Christian contemporary music genre. Specifically the stuff that they make for radio, which is, I think 90% of it, I'm just making that up, but like, feels like 90% of Christian contemporary music is made for the radio. Any of the songs on this album could have been really big hits. I can see literally any of these, especially Move, the first one, Rejoice with its worship sound. Basically, any of these could have been hits, and they weren't. And, when you have an album that isn't popular, isn't successful, and it isn't creative, what are you left with? Is this album any good? I'm actually surprised myself to say it, but I would not say this is a terrible album. It's very generic. It's, as I've already said, it's very safe. But safe doesn't necessarily mean that it sounds bad. I can enjoy pop music. I can enjoy music on pop radio, even though the lyrics totally sell out, totally shallow, even though the music sounds like a lot of other things. You can enjoy it. It can be it can be generic and safe and well-made, and I think that's the case for Sound of the Saints. I especially like the first track, Move. It's really fast, really upbeat, and it actually sounds pretty good. These guys, I should have said this earlier in the video, these guys are like a cross between Newsboys and the Afters. Newsboys, God's Not Dead, very successful Christian contemporary music band. And the Afters, also very successful Christian contemporary music band. I'm crossing them because these guys are pop rock. Afters is pop. Newsboys is pop rock. The lead singer kind of sounds like the lead singer of the Afters, but their overall sound and, the lyrics and all that kind of has a Newsboys vibe. It's not as good as Newsboys. It sounds kind of like a ripoff, but I can get some enjoyment out of these songs. I can jam to some of these songs. You have positive messages, positive lyrics. You always got that going for you in Christian contemporary music. Will I come back to this album? Will I revisit this album, listen to it again and again, study it, really dig this album, really enjoy this album in the future with repeat listens? No. The only reason I reviewed this album was because I was a big fan of Audio Adrenaline's Kings and Queens, And because I'm a music critic, I like to get a second look on an artist. And so this was my second look at Audio Adrenaline, a band I'm not really a big fan of besides that one album. And final verdict is, it's okay. This album is definitely not trash. It's just very safe, not creative at all, doesn't have anything to distinguish it from other Christian contemporary music. It sounds okay. It does not sound bad. The music is pretty good. The lyrics are no better than other Christian contemporary music, but you know, positivity, good messages, hooray, music for the whole family. I would not recommend this album. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Like I just said, it's not creative, like at all. The vocals are unimpressive. I mean, the guy can sing, but it's nothing memorable, nothing special. The music is okay, and none of it doesn't sound bad. These songs don't sound bad. I can even bob my head to a few of these. I can vibe to Move, the first song, and a few others on the album I could say. But just not a great album. Just nothing to keep you coming back, nothing to make it really stand out. But it can be enjoyed on a surface level of enjoyment. Okie dokie, said all I meant to say about this album. Have you listened to this album? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? You probably haven't heard this album. Who am I kidding? Did you like this review? Is there anything that I should improve on? Is this just a bad setting? Is the lighting bad? Am I just really stupid in general? Just any comments? If you want to comment, I'll read the comment. I'll read the comment. It's appreciated. All right, that's about it. Next review will be Audio Adrenaline's Kings and Queens, and you're going to see what I think about that album. As you can tell from this video, I like it a good bit better than this one. All right, that's about it. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.